Okay, so we're back live again. I have my makeshift ironing mat, which is not really an ironing mat. The other day I did this one, which was, stamping on the fabric and using a little bit of bling and stuff like that. So I thought that I would iron it, and it's on the back of this, so it's not really going to hurt it, because I didn't get out my, what do they call it? My Teflon mat. So I'm going to cheat and iron it from the back. It's a dry iron. It'll probably, some of it might come off, especially the blingy stuff, might come off on the back of this fabric, but that doesn't really matter. This is just a sample piece anyway. No, it's not coming off. It's all good. So I'm just going to iron it just to set it in, because I'm going to start stitching it soon. I'm going to do some cutting. Good evening. Hello, who we got here? We've got Colleen, Julianne, M, and Pat, and Judy Downing. Hi, guys. There's about 22 of you on there, I can see, but I can't see everyone's names. So literally just ironing this piece that I created from a scrap. Love scrap fabrics. That's just my daughter messaging me. Hi, PJ, how you going? So that's it there. So you can see it's all there. I've ironed it. I can just run the iron just gently over this. My iron cops an absolute beating, it does. So now you might think, why haven't I got a mat and, hi Karen, and ruler and all that? Because I'm not really going to do any mat cutting or blade cutting. I'm actually going to do a little bit of fussy. So I'm going to just, I think I might cut out, let me just have a look here. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go in here. Let's cut out that. Just pop that away. Let's cut out this and pop that away. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Chris. I can see someone else has said hi, but it's gone past my view. Where are we? Oh no, that's Karen. Hi, Karen. Now I'm going to cut out, I'm just going to find, and this is what I love about this sort of project, is there's no rules. I love no rules, because you know how much I love just to play. I'm a big kid. All right, so Sylvia's in Gladysdale. Hi, Chris. So I'm going to just cut roughly around this baby. Okay, so I've just cut around that like that. I'm going to cut about 2 or 3 out. And just that. And I'm going to do this one. It's got a bit of colour in it. Might do 4. No, 5. I'll do 5. All right, so I like odd numbers. That's the florist in me. All right, and then one more. And we'll do another one with a bit of colour. All right, there we go. So I've just cut around them really roughly. Love it when you fly by the seat of your pants, no rules. I do it all the time. I'm an absolute shocker for it. So when people ask me, can you get a workshop organised, I'm thinking, oh my God, seriously, I couldn't organise that. But I do, but I'd rather just go by the seat of my pants. All righty. So this is a Bleach Workpiece, and you're looking at me going, how the hell are you going to get those things to work with this? Now I need to my eyeballs on because I'm cutting up close. So I'm going to just cut around these little doodahs. Nothing fancy, nothing, I'm not really fussy. Sorry, my phone is beeping at me. Just ignore it. So I'm just cutting around here and there, get the tail in, and I'm literally going to, nothing special. These are my thread snips for my long arm. So they're not really fabric scissors, but they're doing a great job. So just roughly and go around one. And then we've got to figure out what we're going to do with these, because like seriously, how do we put this on this piece? So you know, you sort of look at it and think, oh, could possibly put that with that, but we can. So let's just get rid of all that. Hi Wendy, how you going? Okay, so we can look at it and go, how are we going to place it on there? So we can look at where you want to put it. You can cut. So I can cut this in half, like that. Look at that. Have it going behind something. So let's go behind here. Let's look at how that's going to work. It might come down a little bit. If I line that up there, I'm going to need to cut about that much out. Oh, I'm fogging up in my glasses again. And I'm going to cut that out there. Cut out that stem bit. That's going to go there and there. So it's going to wrap around that stem. Now, how do I get that to stay? Well, let's use the trusty glue pen. All right. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on the back, just like that. I'm going to put a bit of glue on there. It's only a little bit, like that. So it's coming behind, and then in front of this one, we're just going to put a bit of glue there just to hold them in place, just long enough for me to sew them down. Okay, so I'm just going to heat set that glue, make sure she don't move. All right, next one. Let's have one popping out from behind the leaf. So the only part I really need to semi-fussy cut, because we don't do majorly fussy because that's just way too hard, is to have the top part of it, because the bottom part's going to get cut off. Isn't that cool? I don't even have to worry about that. So I look at it here and I go, right, it's going to pop up behind here. So I want it to go there. Oh, coming back to front, snip there. And I can see that there's some funky shapes. So I'm going to go and cut it. So I've cut it in a funny shape like that. So I'm eyeballing. I'm literally eyeballing. That can go like that. Needs to come in a bit further. So we're going to come up here, just holding it in place. Down here, lifting up as I go. It doesn't have to be perfect because I can have it overlapping. And down here. There we go, that's a bit better. All right, so that now goes over there, like that. Now, I'm just looking at the shape of it, and I want it to look like it's coming out from behind that. So it's going to go like that. A little bit more glue there, and we're going to place that just nicely there, and I might just snip that little bit of leaf away out of it just to give it a bit of a better shape. And look, if I bugger it up, who cares? All right, so we'll get the iron and iron that on. Now the other thing is we've got the other half of this, so we can utilize that. We can have that coming out from behind one of these over here. So why not? Why not do that? Why not have it come from behind the leaves, the petals, or something like that? So let's do that little bit of fussy cutting. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to sew these on, and you'll be quite surprised at how easy and basic this is. That's the little tail of it. I might just go and cut that little bit out of there just so you can see. That's got a tail, and we're going to pop that there. Maybe. I'm just thinking where I might put it. So that would go like that. So then we're going to have this one here, and just trying to think how I'm going to put that there. So I'm just holding it down, just lifting as I go. We're going to cut that petal out. I'm looking a bit cack-handed at the moment. Probably look all right on the screen because it's all back to front. And then that one down there, like that. That's it. And I'll just trim away these little bits. And don't you love batiks that they don't fray like the other fabrics do? I just love that they don't fray. And with all this little tiny fussy cutting sort of thing, or semi-fussy cutting, you don't want them fraying. All right, so then those two, that can go, oops, a daisy, about there. So did I stick that? No, did not. So let's stick that down. Blob of glue, just found it. Down there, like that. Stick this one here. One of the kids is coming up, I can hear them. And there. Just going to move that there. I can hear my daughter. What'd you like, love? Yeah, thank you, darling. Yes, packing orders. I'll give you a text message when I'm ready if you like, because I'm going to be like this for a little while. Okay, so we've got that. The next thing I want to do is get another one. And let's just cut around here. My daughter's come to help me pack orders. Mary's gone home. My life is so hectic right now. Got the best daughter in the world who's been cleaning the house. This is how I don't do everything, you see, because I can't do everything. She's been brilliant. So placement's going to be entirely up to you what you want to do with something. This is really going to make the actual, what's the name, pop. Missed the start of this one. What are you doing tonight? Okay, so Robin, the other day I did some stamping with some fabrics, and I've cut some out, and I'm just going to add them here. I'm doing a little bit of fussy cutting, just making them go behind some leaves and stuff, and I'm just setting them down. I've heat set the fabric. I'm going to make that one just float. This actual piece hasn't been finished yet. It's only been stitched on the main items, but not in the background. So I thought, perfect, I can add stuff to it. This is when you do it, you see. So I thought, beauty, let's do this tonight. Let's use what we made so we can utilize some of it. So here I am doing this. Now, once I've got these stuck down, I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. I'm going to swap my thread over when I get there, and we're going to stitch it down. I'm going to stitch it with a black thread, believe it or not, or a really dark grey. And yeah, and that'll make the yellow pop. All right, so those two up there, so I'll just do that one there. The most important thing is not to, I can see another comment, but I can't understand. It's another language, I think, or it's a name. Simona, Alina Lulia. Okay, so we've got a lot on one side, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm going to put this one on the other side. If you wanted to, you could add other things to it if you wanted to, but I think this will be enough. It's already quite a busy piece with the thread work. And I think that in the background, I think that paisleys would be the best to have. Let's have that one just going over the edge of that leaf. Okay, so you are going to do that scary free motion. I am, and I'm going to go over a piece that's been thread worked. So we're going to really up the ante.
I'll be back.
I'll give you a message, Lottie.
No, I'm just going to get my headphones.
Okay. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. So we've really done some funky things there and just up the ante on the background. Now I'm going to take this and move the, turn the iron off and take this over to the machine. Move the camera over here. Oops, a daisy, got some cords stuck. And grab my chair. Now, all the cords are wrapped around each other. So I'm just going to move my lamp. I froze. Oh, okay, probably because I moved it. Okay, is it going now? Is it working okay now? Okay, cool, it's working. All right. Now I'm just going to use my Resant thread. So just a really dark grey. Whoops, a daisy. Good catch. I've still got my machine on the free motion settings, which is my tension at about 6. I've got the large needle in at size 16. Hang on, my alarm just decided to go on. Tell me it's supposed to be doing something. I've got my feed dogs down. I'm changing my bobbin to the black one. Find it. There it is. Grab my thread, foot down, and needle up. Brings up the bobbin for me so I don't create a big nest underneath. Gloves are going on. All good. Is the pattern already in the black fabric? No, it's not. So that is actually from a workshop that I did. I did a demo workshop for an online class, and it's a 3-hour long class. So I've got a really, bit like the other one that I've done, I've got to really condense it down, well not condense it down, but break it up into a few different classes. So it's not just all one class. In 3 hours, it's just way too long. So cut off, and that all takes time, and at the moment my time is just not there. Alright, so I've cut off those bits. I'm just moving some stuff because it's really getting it into my way. Coming over here to this one in the outskirts. And I'm going to put, I'm just lifting my foot up a little bit. I love this foot. And needle down and bearing the thread. Okay. Now, first thing I'm going to do is just check my speed. Got my needle in the right spot. Nothing has changed. And just do a bit of a wavy edge. Oh, it's going to fray a little. That's okay. I'm going to get my little, what's the name out? Yeah, what do they call it? The thread cutter. Imagine if I used something other than a batik, it'd be horrible, wouldn't it? Okay, so I'm just following the design on it. Oops, bit of a knot. And you can see it's starting to lift there, so I'm going to move around. So I'm going to get my thread trimmer and go along and trim that off because I can. Alright, just get that under there. Okay, oops a daisy, something broke. Just make sure I've got that all. It sounds like the bobbin to me. It's funny how you get to know the noises your machine makes. Needle down, thread it through. Come on, come to mama. Check that bobbin. Did this sound a bit chunky? Yeah, it did. Just grab that and rip it out because that's what you do when you're me. Rethread the bobbin. I just go back to basics, guys. If anything sort of plays up, I go back to basics. I rethread, and sometimes it's 6,000 times. And other times it works first time round. I'm going to go back to where I started. First things first, I'm going to put the foot down and I'm going to do the cut off. So my thread is buried. And I am going to slow down the machine. That's a bit better. So if it goes a little bit poofy there, I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to cut off now and I'm going to stitch in the middle there. So needle down. I'm going to put my foot down a bit. And I'm going to stitch this one. And you can hear that tack, tack, tack noise. That's actually the paint. So don't stress over that. That's no big deal. So this will hold down the centre. And I can go one more time if I want to in this centre one. Just cut off. Why don't batik spray? Is it due to the wax that has been used on it? Yeah, it's all the sizing, the wax, and the type of the way they do it, the way they dye it. It's just the whole process. They just don't fray like I mean, they do fray, but just not like the others do. Okay, and then that one there. I can grab my tiny little scissors, which I think I left over here. Because my little shaverer is in the house, of course, because I'm doing stuff in there. And I can't wait until the new lot comes. I've got a back order of those. So just trim those little bits off. You won't lose any of your threads or anything like that. It won't come apart. It's pretty damn good. Oops, daisy, press the buttons. So just trim that out. I'm going to get my seam ripper. I'm going to run over it. So that is one stitched on. Let's go for the next one. I'm going to do the centre one first this time. And stop. Cut off. I love the cut off mechanism on this. Is that also why you don't wash them first before them? Yeah, I don't wash them because if I wash them first, I just think it's just a waste of time, to be honest, because they are going to, you know, they do wash them and they boil them, and you know they go in and out of water all the time, the batiks. So there's not really much chance that, I mean, they're going to shrink, but it's not going to be that much. But I like, you know, just in case, I like all my fabrics, if they're going to shrink, I want them to shrink at the same time. Hi, Joylene. Fantastic is your work. I need a pair of scissors like what you are using. Oh, these little fellas. Yeah, I've got I normally use the pink ones, and they're really good. They're only about $3. They're as cheap as. I've got them, Joylene. I don't think I've yet fulfilled your order. I can probably put one in your package. Now, see how it's going up? If you've got a purple thing, that's when you use that. So I'm going to use my scissors. And I'm just doing a bit of a wiggle along the edge. Doesn't have to be beautiful. I just want it to be stitched. Oops, a daisy. Got my scissors getting in the way. And you can see all that fraying. That's going to go away when I trim it. The other thing with an open toe foot, don't be tempted to put your finger right in there because you will put the needle through it. So if you go a little bit wobbly, like I mean I've done a few wobbly lines there, it doesn't really matter. Just as long as it's stitched down, hey. And you can go around a couple of times. Yeah. So I'm just trimming off some of those. You could even reverse applique these. I'm going to now go around these ones. Put the scissors out of the way so I don't sew them into the thing. That would be great. Make it 2 of them. 2, done deal. Joylene, I will add them to your order. Wait, that's going to chew that, so let me cut that off and do the inside one first. Let's be sensible about these things. I can see that's going to grab that, so I'm just going to, because that's only a real half sort of piece, I'm going to go back over that line just to secure it down. There. And then I'm going to stitch right on the edge of it just to secure it that side. Holding my finger in the right spots so I don't sew that in. Now I'm going to go on the edge. You can even do a little zigzag on the edge, it doesn't matter. And I can see that it's starting to lift there. So I'm just pulling it forward, just a little bit of a trick, just to pull it taut. Okay, so I'm just going to stitch that edge of that again along here, just so it doesn't lift. Just one more time, making sure I've caught it all. And I'll come along and trim all those fluffy bits off eventually. And stop. So that now looks like it's almost there. I'm using my gloves for EPP and they definitely help with the arthritis. Absolutely, Sue, yeah. Yep, they do, because it's less less stress with EPP, yeah, definitely, because you've got all that holding things, and the pinching would definitely help. Okay, and cut that off, and I'll give them a little bit of a trim, a bit of a haircut, which I haven't had for a long time and need one. My son keeps asking me he wants a haircut, and I'm like, well, we can't go anywhere. And he's, 16. It's not like he doesn't know what's going on. Mum's going live. Becky just took a photo of me. I probably put it on Snapchat. Send it to the boyfriend, yeah. Where'd you send it to?
No way.
Are you, who?
No way.
No, are you using a different darning foot? Mine is much bigger. No, it just depends on the machine and the model and what the machine requires. So some are larger and smaller. As long as you've got the right one suitable for your machine, it'll all work the same. Some machines free motion quilt better than others. Actually, there's quite a few of the older machines don't really like it that much, but you can still do it on them. So just depending on the type of machine you've got as to whether it would like it. I'm just looking at what line I'm going to go around. I'm going to go around the second one. Get my fingers out of the way. And I'm just going to tweak that over this way a little. Just tweak it over there. I'll stitch that to death. So I'm stitching along the edge of the stem of the flower, and then I'm going to just do a little bit of a crazy zigzaggy thing. Nothing special. And that's that one. And once these are all down, I mean, you can add so many things to this. It doesn't matter. In the end of it, it's all going to be relevant to what you want it to look like. I just wanted you to see how you can utilise something you've already done and add it to another project. So don't worry about all that little fluffy stuff there. That's going to go. Little bit of glue has just stuck that down, and because the fabric moves, I'm just going to tweak it a little. Still haven't been anywhere yet, even though we're allowed at the weekend. Okay, this is your painted work special. Yeah, so this is one of my Bleach works. And I've got online class of that too coming. Just like I said, I've just got to get that time to tweak the video. That's that one. And I've done those. Doesn't take long to do these either. It's all of a sudden you'll have it done. Oops-a-days, caught it. That's the other thing with an open toe foot. Sometimes you can catch things. So just be aware of that. As I'm coming around, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to lift it up and grab it down. Come on, little booger. So then I'm just going to travel along the edge of that leaf. I'm hoping, yep, I got it. Is Aiden here tonight? Beck?
What?
Is Aiden here tonight?
No.
He's gone home? Yeah. He'd be tired? Okay. So don't stress about those little fluffy bits. They're going to go. I'm going to get my trusty thread stripper. Hi Stella, it is. Yeah, bleach work. Yeah, it looks very effective, doesn't it? See? And then I'm just adding some different things to it just to make it a little bit blingier. Alright, let's do the centre one first. So you might have noticed I've started doing the centre ones first. After doing the first one, I've realised the centre one is going to help stabilise it. So best to do the centre one first. And cut off. Then work my way out to that one. Holding down. My fingers out of the way. So I do these weird things with stuff all the time. Most of the time you guys don't get to see it because it might actually just end up in my, maybe I won't show anyone that pile. But I thought I'd show you some of the different things that I do. I'm also going to show you when you finish these sort of things, what to do and how you can join other fabrics to it. So especially fabrics that you know you've made, they look really good with this sort of thing because it's got that authentic look to it, that real I don't know, organic thing going on. Alright, I'm just going to trim that and those. I'll give it a haircut later. A little bit now. A little bit too much fabric. I think I've done them all. That one's a little bit hairy. Give that one a bit of a trim. Great little pair of scissors they are. Cheap and useful. Alright, so that's just using some of my painted fabrics that I've done, using a batik that's now painted, and I'm just giving it a bit of a haircut, and I'll get that little ripper onto it, and that'll clean it up even better, So once I've done this, now I might want to add a border or something to it, so to really bring out that yellow and work in unison with the, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. And again, seat of the pants thing, really haven't thought much, just that I wanted to add it to it. Alright, so bear with me while I nut it out at the same time. Like I say, a lot of people say to me, oh, you know, what are you thinking of when when you're painting and stuff? You have to show us so we can learn. It's great to watch this. Oh, you're welcome. No worries. I'm just going to move the camera back over here. And take this with me. And so that's it so far. So I think that looks pretty cool. But I also want to utilize some of this other fabric. So I did cut this out. So I'm going to go and actually cut a strip. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I've just gone and cut a couple of strips out of it. Could you add beads? Absolutely. Beads are brilliant for this sort of stuff. Absolutely. So I'm looking at this going, okay, where do I want to add some extra stuff? I'm thinking probably maybe one corner, maybe this one. They might need to be a little bit thinner maybe. Might make them a little bit thinner, or just have them coming off. Have it overlap maybe. So then I've got that sort of look, but I only want it on one corner, and I'm not going to join it on the usual sewing. I'm literally going to sew it down onto the top of this. So even though I've got free motion mode set on, I can have it so I can still use the free motion foot to sew this on. I might just cut that there, and cut that. And you can see I've just made a little bit of a wedge in between these, so they go in between. This one here, I think you can just underlap there. Oops, days, and pull it across. Pull this one across. And I might have this one finish with that. So I've just sort of broken it up a little. Can you see that? I might even do another one in between that seam and bring that up there and just break up that border. Yeah, isn't it cool? And I've used all that. This is fabric that I made after, you know, by buying a scrap piece. So I'm just going to put that little dab of glue there just to hold him in place for me. Now I don't care if these don't line up, by the way, just so you know. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking to have it attached. So I'm just going to put that there, a bit under there. And it's literally just a little dob. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Little dollop of glue, nothing major. And I'm going to cut out the point of that leaf. There we go. So there and there on either side, just to hold him tight. And I want it there, just to hold that there. I like it broken up. Yeah, me too. I do too. So I'm going to put a bit on that and just hold that there. Now, I'm going to go and, oops, daisy, sew that down. So I'm going to take you back to, and you can see it broken up around the stem and the leaf. So I'm going to take it back to the machine and I'm going to sew this on. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to sew it on. I'm actually going to use a zigzag. So I'll show you how to do that with your free motion. So I'll move this over here and bring this over. Now I'm going to use free motion on my machine, just like I did before with a straight stitch, but I'm going to use a zigzag. So I'm going to change my zigzag, my machine to zigzag, but I only want the zigzag to be, and you'll see it's going to move, I only want it to be like 0.8, so I need to just double check where it's going to land. I don't want it to hit my needle, my foot is what I'm trying to say. I could end up hitting the foot, so let me just needle down, needle up. Oh, only just. Beautiful. All right. So I'll grab that thread and I'm going to pull it out a bit. And I'm going to start around about here. Now, I know it's scary because we're doing a zigzag. Just make sure it's all nice and tight. Nothing's going to move. That's all good. And needle in the down position, and you can see how it's already starting to push that fabric down. There's a reason for that. The needle's getting blunt. Okay, it's done a lot of work today, so it's probably due for a change. I'm going to slow down my machine and just do a really small zigzag. You hear it? And you see it move. It's because it's going blunt. I might actually cut that off and go back and go over it because I've missed a few spots with the wiggles. Had the wiggles up. So let's just go foot down, needle down, speed her up a little bit more. That's better. All right, so we've got to there. Just turn her around, just because I need to work towards myself, or you know, where I can see. And I'm doing a zigzag because I want to make it look not neat. All right, I'm just going to cut that off, and I'm going to come over here and just do this side so the glue's moved. And I'm just going to grab that. There we go. Oopsie days. And then cut that off. And that's given it a little organic messy thing. Is zigzag better to use than straight stitch in free motion quilting? No, I only use zigzag when I'm doing a little bit of thread work of some sort, or I just want something a little bit different than a straight stitch. Sometimes if I'm going to be colouring in, which happens, I'll use a zigzag. But as a general rule, no, straight stitch is for free motion quilting, but zigzag is absolutely possible. So I'm just making sure it's feeding through, because there's no feed dogs or anything. Oops, a daisy, a bit of a wobble. Just coming across here, and wait, when I get to those extra, those fabrics, I'm going to have another layer. So you'll really hear it go dunk, dunk, dunk. So you can see that little zigzag. See the zigzag happening? Just a little one. Nothing too fancy. Oopsie days. Grab the thread, fabric. All right. When you're doing something like this, sometimes it's a bit of learning as you go. Some things work and some things don't. Oopsie days, foot down. So with the zigzag, I needed to come in a little bit off the edge, and therefore that way you can actually see the zigzag. So it looks like I'm pulling from behind, but I'm actually not. I'm just supporting it so it doesn't go on a funny angle, wobble. Alright. We're going to come across this way now on this angle. So it's stop, cut off. And if you notice, I'm not doing the outer edge, I'm not bothering. I'm just going to come across here from this side. Oopsie days. Oops, that frightened me. That was the scissors. but have you still got your open front foot on while you zigzag? Yes, I do. Yes. Yep, I haven't changed the foot. I haven't changed anything at all other than the stitch from a straight stitch to a zigzag. That's the only thing I've changed. Nothing else has changed. And when I've done the zigzag, instead of doing it what the machine wants me to do, which is 3, I'm doing it at a like a 0.5 or 7, I think I've got it on. So it's a really small zigzag, so I don't hit the actual foot, okay? Wobble. Turn around. Probably don't need to lift the foot, but I do. I'm just going steady. I'm not going really, really fast. Just steady. All right, so that's all on. So they're all zigzagged on, okay? And it's ready to think about what to do next. And like you say, beading or, you know, something else. So let's see if I can get a bit of a further away look. I don't know if you can see it from there. Oh, let me just move the camera for you. Oops, a daisy. I'm throwing the camera. Oh. Okay, let me try again. Hi. Let's try again. So you can see it's starting to look really quite funky, isn't it? How cool is that? Hey? So that has gone from just a bleach painting to something that's got paisleys and funky borders and all sorts of things on it. Now I haven't quilted this yet, so I'll show you what I'm going to do with the quilting. I'm going to change it back to straight stitch. Hi there, how are you, Glenda? I'm just moving this camera. It's just being a little bit of a pain. There we go. Oops, a days. Come on, be nice to me. There we go. I have to learn to go slow. I'm like a bull at a gate when I sew flat out. No, sometimes you just got to slow down. I really don't sew very fast at all when it comes to free motion quilting. You'd be quite surprised at how slow I go. Sometimes some of the stitches that I use, or the designs I use, I should say, need to have a faster stitch, but majority of the time, no, it doesn't. I don't need to. Okay, so needle down, needle up. So I'm just going to show you how and what. Wow, that's great. I didn't think it was going to look so at all. Oh, that's all right. Thanks. Great. Thanks. After 2 days in bed with the wog. Oh no. No one I know, I hope. All right. So let's do. Oops, I can see it's got caught somewhere. I can hear it. It's doing the chunky thing. Alright. Alright, that's a paisley. Let's go on the inside. And another one out there. And this thread's not black. It's actually like a really, really dark, like a gunmetal grey, like a really dark grey. Okay, and again, my needle does need changing. So put a bit of a kink on that one. Come back up. Back around. I'm actually going faster than I normally would. So I'm just going to come up this side and I'm just going to fill it up with a bit of an echo. And that side as well. come around the edge of this, just travel along there, and do another one. Give it a nice kink. I might actually put like a little bit of a feather on the inside, a bit like the painting part, and then do another straight one around the outside. Give it a bit of a curl on the tail. Why not? Why not do it like it is on the painting? Make it a little bit different. Okay. Put another curl in there. Throw another one in. Give it a little kick. And echo that. Come out again. And around. Now I can see a comment. I'm just trying to read. How often should you change your needle, or like me, just when it breaks, or blunt way? So, just goes to show you how you have to open up yeah, absolutely, you have to open up yourself to different ideas. Yeah. Okay, so I change. You should change it every 8 hours. This is literally just a batting in this one is just a poly, because it's it's not a quilt as such that we're going to put on our bodies and warm ourselves up. It's just like a pillow or something like that. So I don't use anything overly expensive. With quilts, I'll always use 100% cotton or 100% wool. So I'm going to give it another little, and I'm going to get around to the end of it in a minute. When I come back, give it another little feathery bit, or flowery bit, whatever you want to call it. So as you can see, I'm just starting to sew around it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. A dog feeds up or down. What type of bed? I've answered the batting one. So dog feeds are down. Feed dogs. Feed dogs, dog feeds. Okay, so now I'm going to just, using the other hand, do a few swirls. I'm going to give that one a bit of a loop. And I'm going to just do a bit of a loose feather on it. So out and about, out, down, out, down. Nothing special. We're not entering shows with this. We're just doing it because we like it. Alright, then I'm going to come back around. I'm going to go around that little loop I did, and I'm going to echo that feather on the outside. Okay, I'm going to cut off there and just show you. No, welcome, Robin. So can you see those? Can you see that? Oh, it's a bit blurry, isn't it? Can you see that? I hope the gloves I have bought from you will make me quilt like you. That's practice. That is practice. That is 100% practice. It took me a long time to do it without thinking. It's really just a motor skill for me now. So yeah, that is literally practice. Yeah, so I can keep going with this. I could go for hours, but I'm just showing you what I've done. You can also fill up with bubbles or whatever you like I did today. With this stuff here, you can do some cross hatching if you want to, just to blend in with this, but you don't have to. I thought paisleys would look good because of all the paisleys I've put on it. And again, you can also echo around the ones you've already put on. So, you know, go around the ones you've already done. Echo around them. Go back. You know, a couple of times. Echo around your flower. You know, and it's a case of, again, I've pretty much, whoops a daisy, you broke the thread. Pretty much by because the needle's blunt and everything, by having these here and these paisleys and that, I can break up the areas again, like I did with that other one. You know how I broke up the areas so that I really only concentrating on that little bit or that little bit there. I'm going to concentrate on this bit here. I can just sort of break it down. So instead of looking at it as one massive big piece to quilt, I'm literally only quilting that area. You know, I'm going to quilt in that area or that sort of thing. So nothing, I think I've got the thread on back to front again. Oh, no, I haven't. I don't know, it's just breaking for no reason. So you can actually break it up into smaller quantities so that it doesn't overwhelm you in one big go. You know, you don't have to just go, okay, well, I can't be bothered sitting here for 6 hours flat. You can do 20 minutes at a time or half hour at a time. Oops, the daisy, got a bit of thread stuck in there. And there we go, got it. And just do a little bit at a time, you know. You don't have to go right ahead and just do the whole thing in one go. You know, you're talking 3-4 hours of quilting there, for me. All right, so I think I broke off over here somewhere. So I'm going to, it could do it to me again because the needle's blunt. All right, so here we go. And I'm just going around that leaf, and you can see I've always got one hand on the machine, oh sorry, on the quilt. And let's do this. Let's just create a line. Then cross over, echo back. And I can fill this whole area in with just an echo. And it's quilted. Gotta love echoing. Cool, hey? And before you know it, you've got this whole piece. Whoops, a daisy. Oh, no, that's why it broke, because I ran out of bobbin. It's time for me to stop then, isn't it? So that's when your machine tells you you've got to stop. So you can just keep echoing around. I don't know if you can see it on screen. Oh, there you go. You can see it. And echoes all the way around and just fill up that whole area. What about a quilt? Do you start free motion quilting in the middle of it or an edge? I start with any quilt because of the long arm thing, but even if it's not on a long arm, I always start at the top and I'll work across the top. So if it's a border, okay, I'll start at one end and work across, and then I'll work down the quilt in that motion, okay? So that as I'm going down, I'm pushing the backing down as I go and flattening out as I go. So the old theory of, you know, start in the middle and work your way out and up and down has sort of gone by the wayside now. So that's how I do it. Most people do it sort of either that way or the other. But yeah, it's sort of up to you as to how you want to do it, what's easier. But if you're going to quilt a quilt on that tiny little machine, you want to have a lot of patience and really strong arms. It could take you a long time, but you know, if you're keen and you want to do it, then I would start at the top, work across the top from say left to right or right to left, and then work your way down. Okay, one row at a time. All right, don't start in the middle and work your way up, and just make sure you pin it fist size apart, no more than that. Clear the area that you're going to actually quilt in with the pins. Take the pins out of the area you're going to quilt in, and then just start. All right. So I just want to thank you very much for coming on tonight. I'm going to come back at about 8:30. Maybe 8:30, 8:45, probably closer to 8:45, and I'm going to do a bit of a demo on the DC 6050 sewing machine, and I will tell you all about it then. So thank you very much again. Chat to you soon. Bye. Yeah, you will need some muscles. See you, Pat.